All right, question number 7. Question number 7 says a sequence of figures is made from the lines of unit lengths and dots. The lines form a series of octagons and squares. The dots are placed at each vertex. The first 3 vertex in the sequence are shown below. So figure 3 of the sequence is shown by itself below. Add more lines of unit length and dots to figure 3 to correctly represent figure 4. Let's go ahead and correctly represent figure 4. As we can see from figure 1, we add another octagon and 2 weird looking thing like I don't know how we can describe this. Maybe a kite, maybe a, we can't necessarily say a kite, but yeah. So we're just gonna add 2 of those shape thingy and an octagon. Now, I'm not the best of artists, guys, so bear with me. I'm just gonna add the octagon. It's gonna be going like this. To complete figure 4, I'm just drawing the octagon here. It's not going to be the best looking one, but if you can draw it pretty on the exam, big up to you. All right, but I don't like to draw, not at all. So this would be the octagon there. All right, just to show them that. And then we're going to put on our dots now. Well, let's draw first the shape that would come here, going up. I know you're laughing. It's okay. All right. So this is what we have, and I'm just going to put on all the dots now. So putting on all the dots, this is what it's going to be. 1 dot here, 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 1 dot here. Remember, there's dots here and here. So that's figure 4. That's how figure 4 would look. And that will give you 2 marks. All right. Now let's look at the next part of the question. The next part of the question says, complete the number rows I, and I. Now it says, determine the number of dots from figure 4. Now we can do it 2 ways. You can go back to your diagram and add up all of them, but nobody has time for that. Or you can look at the number of dots formula. The number of dots formula, it's going to be 8n. How did I get 8n? If the figure is represented by n, look at it. 8 times 1 gives 8. 8 times 2 gives 16. 8 times 3 gives 24. So 8 times 4 gives 32. So the number of dots is 32. If you don't believe me, you can go back and add up all of them around here, and you're going to get 32. Now, the next part now is to look at the perimeter. Now, the perimeter, as you can see right here, 8, 14, 20. So we're going up by 6, right? So it's going to be, this formula look like 6n. But then what else now? Since we're going up by 6, it's 6n. But then we'll add 2 to it. Look at it. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2, that's 8. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 2 is 14. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 2 is 20. So when n is 4, it would be 6 times 4. 6 times 4, which is 24, plus 2, which is 26. I know you were just looking at it and say, oh, we just add 6 to it anyway. But it's good when you write down the formula. So it's 6n plus 2, and this is 8n. It's going to come in handy later on. Why is it handy? Here's it handy now for part 2. Part 2, it tells us that the perimeter is 86. So now we need to find the number of dots and the figure number. That's easy to find now because we know that the perimeter P is 6n plus 2. So what we can say is 6n plus 2 is equal to 86. See it here? From that, we're really saying that 6n is 84. And if you divide both sides by 6, then n is 14. So now we get the figure number is 14. If n is 14, then we can work out the number of dots. The number of dots is 8 times 14. So 8 times 14 will give us the number of dots. So we take out our calculator. We're working out 8 times 14. And 8 times 14 is 112. So the number of dots right here is 112. And then, of course, the last line is to just write the formula. This is 8n, and this is 6n plus 2. Wow! And that's it. Easy. The table is nice. No issues at all. No problem. Now, part C. Part C says, for any figure, the number of dots D is greater than its perimeter. Determine the value of n for which the difference between D and P is 36. So they're telling us that D minus P is 36. But D is 8n, minus P is 6n plus 2, and that works out to be 36. 8n minus 6n is 2n. So 2n minus 2 is 36. It's then telling us that 2n is 30. Bring over the minus 2, it becomes plus 2. So that's 38. They will divide both sides by 2. So therefore, that would mean n is 38 over 2. And 38 over 2 is this, n is equal to 19. That's your answer. All right. So when n is 19, that is going to ensure that the difference between the dots and the perimeter is 36 when n is 19. And you can go ahead and check it. Let me show you when you check it as well. Look at it.